Who are the mentally retarded? They are people. They come in both sexes and in all sizes, shapes, creeds, and colors. Wherever people live, there also live the mentally retarded.
You dumb, lard-ass, ludtard morons. You still don't get that the answer is the communication of spiritual knowledge and the communication of natural law and objective morality to the mindless, fucktard, zombie horde masses of this fucking planet.
What up, world? Good morning. This is the Chronicles of the Great Retardation, Chronicle number 6, I believe. I'm your co-host, Harrison, or Arabian Pleb, and with me, our co-host, Cosmic Surfer, or Nick. And in true Great Retardation form, this is go around 2, take 2, because I completely effed up the first take where I thought that the episode was recording and turns out it wasn't because I didn't have my hard drive plugged in, which was the pathway to record the damn thing. So now I've got it plugged in. Now we're recording. Good morning. How are you, Cosmic Surfer? A great retardation to you, brother.
Great, mate. We've both had a bit of a break from news cycles and that kind of thing, and you know, I'm someone that spent a decade off social media, and I'm recently back on it. You've been reading Provoked, which I'm about to ask you about. I've been on the land. I've been listening to Mark Passio. Mark Passio, but you know, if you don't already know, he's got about 300 episodes where he takes you through all the information to do with natural law. And he's the guy that was speaking at the beginning of this podcast. And that's part of why I've been inspired to create this podcast, to talk about those natural principles and natural law. And that's why it's a really good reminder, that intro for me. And so I've been listening to him talk and break down symbolism over a number of episodes. And I found that very, very helpful. And also been listening to him talking about Freemasons as well and going into that. And of all things, brother, in 2025, I'm now listening to him go through the 9/11 conspiracy. But yeah, no, and all of the symbology and that kind of esoteric meanings behind all that, and Building 7 and Tower and kind of... And yeah, and so I'm learning a bunch, and super grateful for that. And just also, I have been back on X for a while now, both for my companies and for this, and it is retarded, man. Like, oh my God. I mean, we've got almost no followers. We're doing fantastically, having a great time with it. But yeah, I mean, it's just not that that's what it's about, but it's yeah, I mean, some of the takes are just terrible. They really are. I'm listening to Brett Weinstein attack Whitney Webb and some other people that I know as well for blackpilling and not providing solutions, even though every podcast she talks about solutions, and she's also part of the Independent Media Alliance where they focus on solutions. And even if they weren't, she's an investigative journalist talking about what's going on in the world and the dark stuff in the times that we live in. So I think that we should all be grateful and appreciate the deep dive and the work that she does. Yet it's the attacks are like, you know, just talking about blackpilling, but then also trying to insinuate that she's making connections where there's not connections. And and she's using primary sources and references everything, and that really pisses me off. I mean, she's just some girl on the other side of the world just doing investigative journalism, but I feel pretty protective, man, because that's like she's the real deal journalist and she's doing great work, So excuse me, it's gonna blow my nose.
No, go for it, bro. But yeah, no, that's it, dude. Like, bloody, she's, and if you read her books, which I have, and I know you have as well, like, yeah, she's just pointing out the messed up stuff that's going on. But like you said, like, as an investigative journalist, like, that's her job, is to point out the truths and what's happening in reality. And she really does her, like, I love her type of work and research, because it's very similar to a very similar style, like as to Scott Horton, who I love and dearly, and read all his work as well, where they just leave no stone unturned, not afraid to go where some people seemingly are afraid to go to. She investigates, like, Elon Musk and his origins, and Peter Thiel and his origins, and whatever, just all these defense contractors and intelligence assets and agents and things. So yeah, no, she's great, man. But, like, I don't know, like, what an accusation! Oh, you're blackpilling. It's like, well, it's you can view it as blackpilling, but she's just pointing out the nature of the truth, and the nature of the truth currently is pretty dark. But I think, like, the only way that you're going to come up with solutions is if you understand the reality, So it's like, oh, hang on, a solution is necessary because of how dark things are, and how dark some of these people in positions of power want to take things. So.
Yeah, and Mike Cassius says the same thing. But yeah, I mean, it's really dumb. But also, it's not. There's like a lot of people. I know you haven't been paying attention, but there's like a coordinated kind of like thing going after, and they kind of try and pigeonhole like some of the talking points or whatever, not knowing that she just uses social media to promote the long form content. But yeah, I even see, like, quote, spiritual people trying to have a go as well. So yeah, we're talking about natural law and the nature of the problem, and to be able to build coherence from when you understand, like, the core issue, right? And so that's what she's providing. So I mean, I don't know what you expect from an investigative journalist that's talking about pedophile networks and tech dystopia, and there's mRNA vaccines with AI infrastructure being built out, and it's basically, I mean, I guess you could somewhat see it coming, because it's like, now Trump's president and she's saying stuff against him. It's like that, you get all the MAGA people, we'll say it plainly. You get all the people like, basically moved on from, oh, you'd rather Kamala, would you? And now that he's in, and he's, making decisions like working with Larry Ellison and Sam Altman and these guys with $500 billion for AI infrastructure, which is probably covered for 0 Point Energy as well. Yeah, let's just call it Project Stargate, okay? And put a Stargate like our logo. But nothing to do with semiconductor technology at all. But yeah, I mean, it's like, you get actually just normal people that are just like just trying to defend Trump because of their side of politics now as well.
Yeah, totally, man. And there's, like, I think there's a lot of people that, yeah, like you're saying, they just don't want to hear it because they're avid supporters of Trump, and because he's, probably made some promises to people that's one of their or some of their core issues that they really care about. And so if he's going to deliver on those core issues, then he's great, and don't knock him for anything at all. Which, like, I will give Trump, like, a little bit of credit just in terms of like freeing Ross Ulbricht and freeing the J6s and things like that. There's promises that he made that he has, like, he did do it on day 1 or day 2 or whatever. So, like, that's great. But then, like, it doesn't mean that he's immune from criticism for other things that he is doing and potentially going to do in the future. Like, and to put your head in the sand about that because he did a handful of great things over here is lunacy. Like, that's fucking stupid, man. I don't know, like, it'd be on the level of, like, that's a good analogy. It'd be on the level of, like, I don't know, some guy, like, saves someone from, like, a burning house, but then turns around and goes and murders 10 people. But it's like, oh, don't criticize him for murdering 10 people because he saved that person from burning house. It's like, no, we can go, that was great, but then over here, that was really fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I do. I'm really glad that Ross Ulbricht is free. I also, I mean, that's also where I've seen, like, a lot of dumb comments. It's like, I know that there's just, like, a lot of retarded people in the world, but it's like I just haven't been exposed to it for so long. Like, and I've known it's out there. I've, like, literally just been in the forest, like, all these years I've known you, and so, like, part of me is like, I'm just kind of, like, stunned, and I'll look at the responses and I'm like, is that a real person? And then I'm like, actually, this is, like, I'm not even serious. I actually have to, like, try and figure out if it's, like, a real account and stuff. But it's like, there's a lot of people that are actually like, oh yeah, let's all celebrate a guy that's, like, contract killing and drugs. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Well, I will say about the contract killing thing, man, it seemed like that was a real FBI fucking setup where they really fucking, like, I don't know everything about it, but it seems like that was, really, like, the FBI do these entrapment, like, sting operations all the time, and it seems like that was very much it. And also, like, the selling of drugs, like, he wasn't selling drugs, he just set up a website where it was total free market, where, people did sell drugs on there, but he himself wasn't selling drugs. Like another analogy for that would be like, suing the telephone companies because people sell drugs using their telephone lines or something like that, you know what I mean? Like accusing the telephone companies of being drug dealers, which is,
yeah. There's clearly some industries that have got, like, pardons from all of that, and there's clearly some that are, like, with the, the HEMA, like, everything is a neutral tool. Like, I've had to go this through with my own work, but like with the analogy that you buy a HEMA from the hardware store. Are you going to go charge the hardware store for murder if someone goes and uses the hammer, for selling hammers, so yeah. But this is how they make everyone a domestic terrorist or a criminal, for wanting their independent sovereignty and privacy and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. And be afraid of freedom, dude. You can't give people, can't allow people to be free because they might do bad things. So we need digital AI surveillance, Nick.
Yeah, well, Derek Rose made a really good point about that, about how they made an example of him because the judge actually said it, like, because of his, like, ideals or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the exact quote, but yeah, they went after him, targeted him, made an example of him because he's into sovereignty, basically.
They gave him 2 life sentences plus 40 years. And for the crime of creating a website and allowing people to be free on there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he's out, and I haven't got into his story as much as other people. We did a couple of test episodes early on around people like Julian Assange.
Just cut out there for a second, brother, but you'll be back. I know you'll be back. You're always back for me, dude. In 3, 2, 1. Any minute.
Things.
Hey, you're back, bro. Sorry, you just cut out for 1 second.
Just grateful that he's out, So
yeah.
How's the Provoked book? What are you learning in Scott Horton's Provoked book?
Oh, it's so good, dude. It's so bloody detailed. There's so much information in there, but I'm still on the Bill Clinton chapter. I'm about 140 pages in of a 6.
Yeah, so what's the running history? Just what have you? I know it's maybe a little bit difficult.
No.
Like, what have you?
Yeah. What I've been.
What's Clinton been up to?
Oh, Clinton, what he was up to was just being a fucking scumbag, basically. But really just supporting the terrorists all through the 90s. and making false promises to the Russians about NATO expansion and not expanding, but then expanding and bringing in three former Soviet satellite states. I can't remember the names of them. And actually, Scott had to put a correction out. He put an email out about a month or so ago, just going, apologizing, going, fuck, he got mixed up. He wrote that the three countries that Clinton brought into the NATO fold were like Hungary, I think he said Hungary, Czechoslovakia, whatever, and one other country. But he's like, oh no, that was where they like stationed weapon systems, and he only like made the error like in 2 paragraphs, and then the rest of the book he's like, it's 100% correct, but he's just like, he's so fucking anally like felt awful, and on the reprint that he'll fix that up or whatever, but just had to put an apology out to everybody for making that error. But yeah, so Clinton, so he brought in 3 countries into NATO, and also he started the war in Bosnia, started the war in Kosovo, and started the war in Chechnya, where in all 3 wars he's backing the Bin Ladenite terrorists, and even Bin Laden actually travelled to Kosovo to in support of the Kosovar Albanian Muslims against Milosevic, the Serbian president at the time. Dude, so, what's fucking super interesting is Djokovic was a kid in Belgrade when NATO was bombing Serbia. He remembers that shit. I've seen him in an interview like talk about, fucking the bombs raining down, and, how poor his family was because his dad's business just got destroyed, and, they were just fucking living in a war-torn country where NATO is just bombing the crap out of them in support of the Albanian Kosovar terrorists.
Yeah, I've actually got a friend who fled when those bombs were raining down in Serbia as well, and good to see them, and been in plant medicine ceremonies with him while these being processed in and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been around that a little bit, but yeah, I'm interested to learn more as you go along the book as well, and I'll give it a read too.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's really fucking fascinating because I didn't know many of these details about those 3 wars, but and I've heard Scott sort of just talk about it in passing plenty of times, listen to his podcast all the time, so it's cool to actually be able to delve into the details and get a good understanding of what was actually going on at that time. Then the next chapter is going to be George W. Bush, which will be a fucking absolute shit show, which I probably know a little bit about just from enough already that Scott's previous book, where a lot of the war on terrorism was under George W. Bush. And then he gets into Obama. So each chapter is like each president, and I'm really keen. I can't wait to get to the Trump chapter as well, because there's just so much criticism of Trump there. But then also he like one of the biggest sub chapters in the book is Russiagate. Just all the lies, all the fucking bullshit that the deep state were doing to try and rein Trump in, and because he campaigned in 2016 of getting along with Russia, and then turned out to be like the biggest Russia hawk because they were accusing him of being a fucking Russian spy. So then he's got to be a fucking retard, and or I'll prove how much of a how big of a not Russian spy I am, and and then he just started beating his chest and being pretty hawkish, tore up some of the treaties between the US and Russia. So yeah, keen, man. Keen. It's such a big book, dude, and like even the let me show you, dude. Like seriously, like this book just compared to enough already, like just even.
All your Christmases at once.
What's that? Sorry.
All your Christmases to come at once.
Yeah, dude. So. Yeah, hang on, I gotta get that straight. So see that, so even just like from the front, like how much bigger it is, like the page sizes, and then look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's a big one, dude. But yeah, so there's footnotes at the bottom of every single page. So that kind of helps with taking up some of the space on the page. But yeah, like, dude, like, because I'm not the best reader. I'm a shocking reader. I fucking didn't do too well academically in school, but to read like something like that, I could probably get through maybe at the most probably 30 pages a sitting. But then to read Provoked though, dude, like I'm lucky to get through 10 pages a sitting, just because there's just so many more words on the page.
These books, like, yeah, it takes you've got to soak it in as well. Like,
Yeah.
I know people read fast, and I'm the person that really absorbs and like thinks about it, and like I'm actually much like you in terms of my pace of my reading. I don't have the ability to like just process and keep reading. I've got to actually like sit and absorb what I'm taking in.
Yeah, just like yeah, that's right, man. Like I'll read whatever, like one page or like a couple of paragraphs, and then I've just got to go like, so what the fuck is he saying? Like I got to sit back and just like think about it, because that's it. If you just move on to the next thing, just keep moving on, you almost forget, like, 2 pages ago what you just read.
You're like, what name is this?
Yeah, that's like with Whitney Webb and her books too, man. Like there's just so much detail and so much information and so many names and dates and places being thrown at you that, yeah, it's like hard to keep up sometimes.
Yeah, I might actually go through that again. But yeah, I just got kind of my podcast time's taken up with Passio's work at the moment. So I'm up to episode 67 now of 300.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah. So do we want to play a couple of clips? We do have limited time today.
Yeah.
I do know that we wanted to get into the AI stuff. Just Yeah, and just a quick note: there's more retardation in the UFO field. Ashton Forbes has been covering it. The stuff to do with Ross Coulthard and News Nation. There was an egg UFO. There is some evidence to suggest that an egg shape for a UFO, or UFO as in like possible human advanced technology. But yeah, the whole narrative just keeps going into aliens, and it's yes, I've mentioned it, but there's a whole continual narrative around UFO alien stuff that they keep pushing hard, and so that's still going on in the meantime too.
Yeah, of course. All right, bro. So let's go to this screen share, and I'll play. Let me play this one straight up.
Going on. Citizens.
Hold up. Okay, so I just got to mute you because of the screen share situation. One day we'll upgrade our computers, bro, and I'll have a bit more. Won't have to mess around so much with all this muting and whatever. But let me mute you, and then let's get into it.
The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. So if that altercation that occurred in Memphis, the chief of police would be immediately notified. It's not people that are looking at those cameras, it's AI that's looking at the camera. No, you can't do this. It would be like a shooting. That's going to be an event that's immediately, an alarm is going to go off. It's going to be, and we're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised at all times. And the supervision will, and if there's a problem, AI will report the problem and report it to the appropriate person, whether it's the sheriff or the chief or whomever we need to take control of the situation. We have, same thing. We have drones. If there's something going on in a shopping center, and I'll stop. A drone goes out there, get there way faster than a police car. There's no reason for, by the way, high-speed chases. You shouldn't have high-speed chases between cars. You just have a drone follow the car. I mean, it's very, very simple. And the new generation of autonomous drones.
Fucking hell, bro. Who is this? Who is this psychopath, dude? What's his name? Fucking Larry Ellison.
Oracle CEO, which was a public-private partnership, which basically was a CIA company, which has turned into a private company, which is a CIA company, and it's they've got all the they've been since the early days of the internet.
Fucking hell, bro. Oracle, yeah, I remember Whitney Webb mentioning that in her book. Fucking hell, bro. What the fuck? So I've got another clip here that I want to show. This was something else that caught my attention. So this guy's meant to be an American, right? Like, this is like an American, fucking based in California, or was based in California, I believe. But fucking check this shit out, dude. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me, you know?
Pre-crime, brother. Pre-crime.
Have a listen to this crap. Hang on, I'll just mute you again, dude. Fucking check this shit out.
Well, the renewal of the Jewish state is something that I think touches all of us. For 2,000 years, we were a stateless people. And now we have a country of our own, defended by all the brave men and women of the IDF. So anything we can do to support them, who, devote their lives for preserving the state of Israel, keeping the people safe, and allowing our state to continue sometimes in very, very difficult situations.
Did you visit Israel?
I have been to Israel. I have been to the border. I have spent time to the people who govern the state of Israel. And I feel a deep emotional connection to the state of Israel and the Israeli people.
You are an high-tech person. What do you think about Israeli startups and high-tech phenomena?
Oh, well, after Silicon Valley, there's an area, Herzliya has probably got more startups than any other place other than Silicon Valley in Northern California. So we've actually acquired a number of Israeli companies. We have two CEOs at Oracle. One's name is Safra Katz, and she was born in Israel. So again, we love the country of Israel, and we'll do everything we can to support the.
Fucking yeah, boy. Fucking American accent, American citizen. Love the state of Israel. Just love it.
Yeah. Just with I know we just played a different video, but I'm currently with the stuff going on, just with the Project Stargate, and the $500 million and Sam Altman and him. Yeah, it's I'm not impressed. No one is, and I'm not sure if you've got the video there. You might not have it, but there's a video with him talking about mRNA vaccines with this AI infrastructure of all things, and he's talking about curing cancer. And this is the mRNA thing. Maybe that's going to have enough pushback against it. Maybe it won't, because people have kind of have already are pretty loud about it already. Let's see. But it could be a distraction from this, and I think this might be what Catherine Austin Fitz is saying as well. But yeah, this digital AI infrastructure control grid that's rolling out.
I think I might have found the clip. Do you want me to, or you continue, and then when you've done that, we'll play that clip.
Let's just play it. Yep.
Okay, sweet, dude. Let me go to it. Fucking hell. So this must have been. Let me go to that. This must have been. Was this yesterday? Yesterday, American time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll mute you again.
You look even better. Thank you, Mr. President. One of the most exciting things we're working on, using the tools that Sam and Masa are providing, is a cancer vaccine. It's very interesting. It turns out, I'll be quick, all of our cancer tumors little fragments of those tumors float around in your blood. So you can do early cancer detection. If you can do using AI, you can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person. So we can, again, cancer diagnosis using AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test. Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer. And you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine, you can make that robotically, again using AI, in about 48 hours. So imagine early cancer detection, the development of a cancer vaccine for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. What a fucking piece of shit. Are you serious? What kind of sick fuck?
Yeah.
Who is... What the fuck, dude? Never heard of this
It's
guy
been a
until
plan.
fucking today or yesterday.
Yeah, he's pretty prominent. Yeah. This has been the plan all along. This is what people like Whitney Webb have been talking about. This is what all the health people have been talking about. People have been onto all the mRNA stuff. You know, it was never just about COVID. You know, it was about trying to bring in this technology,
Sorry.
which they tried to get in like many times before. And they are getting pushback, but then you're getting, you know, the Trump supporters are like, dude, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, it could be a bit of a bait and switch. They might bring in RFK Jr. and they might change it up, or they might kick out Sam Altman and bring in Elon Musk or whatever it is. But yeah, it's this is what's got people up in arms, you know. So
Rightfully
yeah,
so,
This
dude.
is yeah.
Bloody hell. There's one more clip. I know we've got a hard finish at 8, so we've got about 4 minutes. I just got a 1-minute clip I want to show of Julian Assange talking about AI being used by the Israelis for targeting terror.
Was it actually recent, or was this when he was in Europe like a few months ago? Because I know it's been circulating recently, but I actually wonder if it was from a few months ago when he went to decline that award in Europe or whatever it was when he was, a few months ago. I'm not sure.
It might have been because I thought that too. It looks like that he is sitting on that panel from that clip we watched when he sort of first got out of jail. Has almost just repeated the Israeli propaganda that Gazans are terrorists. What a fucking brainwashed fool I am. Yeah, check it out. It only goes for 1 minute.
Those algorithms. As I emerge from prison, I see that artificial intelligence is being used to create mass assassinations, where before there was a difference between assassination and warfare. Now the two are conjoined, where many, perhaps the majority of targets in Gaza are bombed as a result of artificial intelligence targeting. The connection between artificial intelligence and surveillance is important. Artificial intelligence needs information to come up with targets or ideas or propaganda. When we're talking about the use of artificial intelligence to conduct mass assassinations, surveillance data from telephones, internet, is key to training those algorithms.
Fucking freaky shit, man.
Yeah, and so there's a lot going on with AI, and they obviously do the tech part of it, and the public-private partnerships is being used in warfare, like Julian is just suggesting now. And they've got all the tech bros, you know, the technocrats, Peter Thiel and all these guys involved now, and they've really got Trump behind it. So now everyone's like, oh, like let's beat China. And so there's this kind of like arms race with AI because it's like, well, if we don't have it, then someone else will, and kind of all these arguments. And so now you have like a number of fronts, and like everyone's just pushing for it, you know? So that is obviously happening. And then, you know, even in the other clip with Larry Ellison and what Whitney Webb reports on with Carbon 911, the pre-crime technology and Palantir. So you're talking about, and then you've got all of the like the smart grid and the smart cities and the Internet of Things and all of these devices surveilling everything. So they're able to tap into all these feeds in real time, have artificial intelligence, and then, you know, and then they're able to, especially in Gaza, what seems to be so what Catherine Austin Fitz, it's not her quote, but she mentions it, is like Gaza is the method. So basically it seems like what the plan is to be able to get plausible deniability by offloading the responsibility onto AI. So you can target people, kill them, and then if there's any ever blowback, you can say that it wasn't us, it was like the AI or whatever, and so they can get themselves one step removed.
That's
and so they
so
can,
dark, dude.
and so, yeah, mass atrocities on that level. Yeah.
That's so dark, man. That just sent a shiver down my spine hearing you say that, because yeah, that's always the game plan, is plausible deniability. Usually they do it through the diffusion of responsibility in just government, you know, using private contractors, private, you know, CIA or supposed, you know, private CIA companies and shell companies and things. But if they can just do that with artificial intelligence now and just, you know, shift the responsibility and blame onto the technology itself, like, that's dark, dude.
Yeah. And Orb and all that. So I'll leave you with that, and go hug a tree. I'm gonna probably go to depending on the weather, go see. I'm gonna go see a friend, and gonna go to the beach, ground, get off social media. Trump is not your savior. Elon Musk is not your savior. Take action yourself. Actualize yourself. You are the creator being. Create your way out of this, and you have all the power and all the resources within you. Because you are the chosen one and no one is coming to save you.
Well said, brother. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for this morning. Appreciate your time as always. It's good to get the Chronicles of the Great Retardation rolling again. We'll get back to
the 2025.
2025, brother. Welcome indeed, dude. I think it's going to be a big year for the both of us, man. I think there's big, beautiful, and great things coming our way. So that's wonderful. All right, man. Thank you very much, Cosmic Surfer. Always a pleasure. Let's hit it. Peace, bro.
And here's what it is. This is actually what the true great work is now. It is the arduous task of influencing other people to go through the very same process of change, of positive change in consciousness that you have gone through. It is to help them to realize that in supporting and condoning the legitimacy of authority and government, in other words, man's law, that what they have actually been supporting and condoning is the legitimacy of slavery. Truth is objective. That means that it's not dependent upon the perceptions of human beings. No one wants to hear that. That is a direct assault, a direct frontal assault on the human ego. What truth is that which does not waver. It's there, it's always been there, it's always going to be there. Nothing anybody does can change what has happened. I'm talking about the events that have taken place in the past and are taking place in the present. That's all. And guess what? That's all the truth is. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that.